Good morning, friends. Today I have explained subject computer studies, standard 11, chapter number 11, retrieving data using queries, part 1. In the previous chapter, we have mentioned that database is a huge collection of data. Now think of a situation where we want to retrieve information from a database. Now, suppose we want to send information about Independence Day offers to our customers. We would need list of our customers along with their address. Assuming that this information is stored in a table named customer. The detail can be obtained by opening this table. Query is the features of base, which can be used to retrieve specific set of information from database. The user can retrieve data according to his choice, criteria, and format irrespective of how it is stored in the database. We can ask questions like give me details of customer who has purchased products worth more than 1 lakh rupees in the current year, or give me details of products that have not been sold even once. One of the key reasons to the use database management system is its ability to design, save, and use the queries as and when required. So first topic is defining a query. Query basically means asking a question, doing inquiry, or performing analysis. In base to query is to ask a question about the information in the database. Through a query, one can tell base to display exactly which field and records a person would like to view from the database. It is a set of rules for fetching information from a table or from several tables at once. The result of a query is itself in the form of a table. It consists of a set of records organized in rows, one per record, and column, that means one per field. So that is a defining a query. To create a query, open a database and click on the icon labeled as queries in the left hand pane. The query window is organized like the other windows in base. Different ways to create a query will be shown in the task pane display at the top. If you have already created some queries, then it will be listed in the pane titled queries. Figure 11.1 shows the windows when query icon is selected. As you can see in figure 11.1, under the task pane, base offers three different ways to create a query. First, create query in design view. That means this view provides a minimal amount of guidance. Second is use wizard to create query. That means wizard guides us through the process of query creations. And third, create query in SQL view. That means it provides no guidance at all. Users need to have knowledge about fourth generation computer language called a structured query language. That means a SQL language. If you are a database expert, you might prefer design or SQL view. However, base Query Wizard has the advantage of helping us organize though our organize our through well while requiring no previous knowledge. So let us discuss each of these options one by one. We will create a query that gives us list of customers name and addresses. So first, query creations using wizard. So double click the caption use wizard to create query. A query wizard dialog box shown in figure 11.2 will be displayed. Notice that the left side of dialog box a step to create a query have been given. Only first steps field selection is compulsory. It helps us in identifying the fields that are to be displayed in our output. Other steps allow us to format the output and can be skipped if not required. So the first step in creating the query is to select the table and a set of field in that table from which information is to be retrieved. We may select all or some of the fields visible in the available fields list box. You can use the left and right arrow button to move the fields from which information is to be retrieved. We may select all or some of the fields visible in the available fields list box. You can use the left and right arrow buttons to move the fields from available fields list box to fill in the query list box. Query list box. The field that you finally select to be part of your query will be listed under field in the query list box. These fields can then be arranged in the order required using the up and down buttons. Once the fields are finalized, click on the next button. Observe that in figure 11.2 we have select the table customers and are able to see all the fields related to it under available fields list box. So that is a selection of table and field for query. The second step is mention the sort order in which output of the query will be displayed. It allow you to select up to 4 fields for deciding the sorting order of the output. For example, we might want to display the query result stored in order of first name initially and then by last name of the customer. Once the sorting order is decided, click on next button. Figure 11.3. So how to select the sorting order fields. So that is a applying sorting on fields. So that is a table is a customer and first field is a customer first name, that is ascending order, and then by customer table, and then field is a select is a customer name, and the order is a ascending order. So that is a second point is a sorting order. Next, third step. In the step of the wizard, we actually set up the query. Here we have to select appropriate values for the field in the condition and the value parameters. We can define maximum 3 search conditions in one query. In the case of the address query, if you want a list of customers with SA as their last name, and the criteria would be simple. You would select the customer name field from the drop down under the label field, then select is equal to from the drop down under the condition label, and finally in the text box under the label value type SA, and observe that we have two options in the steps: match all of the following and match any of the following. Since we have only one conditions, we want to need to change the default setting if multiple search conditions are to be set. Like if we are looking for customers with last name as Shah or Patel, then we need to choose match any of the following. Once the search conditions are finalized, click on next button. So figure 11.4, so the search condition settings for listing of all customers with last name as a Sa. So that is a picture for applying search condition on fields. Next, at this point, base keep 3 steps in the its standard wizard and jump to the 7th step. 7th step, in our case, the selected customers table does not contain any numeric fields, and so step including options to summarize or perform numerical calculations are skipped. In the 7th step, base accepts allies for selected field name. The purpose of these steps is to make the query wizard display the field name in human readable form. It allows us to add small touch to the field name, such as space between word and writing, full form of short field names like first name for customer, F name. This step is also optional. We may add alias if required only. If we do not add alias, then field names of a table will be displayed as it is in a query. Once all alias are decided, click on next button, figure 11.5. So how to add alias? So that so this picture is adding a alias. The step is number 7th, and next 8 number 8 number steps. So that is a overview. Finally, in the 8 steps, we are given an overview of all the steps performed till now. Figure 11.6 give us the overview of query recently created. Assign desired name to the query by typing in the text box label name of the query. In our case, we have name it as a customer list. Take a moment to look over what we have done. In case changes are to be made, use the back button to make the changes desired. Once the query is created, the only way to make changes is through the design view. Two options under the questions: how do you want to proceed after creating a query can be noticed. We can either view the query's result immediately by choosing display query options, or else open it in design view using modify query options. Design view can be used to insert additional features in query that may be beyond the capacity of the wizard. So that is a step number 8 overview. So overview of a created a query. For example, in the discuss examples where we are accepting list of customers names and address, we accept city name, state name, and country name. As well, the customer table we select consists of only pin code field. Details related to the pin code field are available in our tables, namely city, state, and country. However, wizard used to create a query provides us options of selecting a single table. Thus, the design views are used to create a complicated queries. Click on finish button, and so you will find that query result of a query is displayed in the datasheet view. So that is a datasheet view in the figure 11.7. So that is a result of query. Let us now calculate the amount received so far for each order. We will use query wizard once again to explore working with numeric field. Make sure that the queries icon is selected. So double click on use wizard to create a query options. In step number 1 of query wizard, select order payment table. You might have noticed that in the drop down list, the customer list query created recently is also included along with all the others table. Note that base allow us to make use of a query already created for creating another query. Select the order ID and payment amount fields and click on the button with greater than symbols to move these fields to fill in the query list box. Click on next button. In step number 2, select the order ID field from the drop down box and label it as a sort by. Click on next button as we do not want to filter record. No search criteria are to be mentioned, and simply skip the step number 3 by clicking on the next button. We will now see a dialog box of step number 4 as shown in figure 11.8. So that is a 11.8 is this screen is summarizing the result. Select the summary query. So only result of aggregate functions options as shown in figure 11.8. Click on the drop down box on under aggregate functions label and select get the sum of option. Similarly, select the order payment amount field from the fields drop down box as we want to perform some of the payment amount fields. This operation is shown in figure 11.9. So that is a uses of aggregate functions, and click on the next button. This will lead you to step number 5. So step number 5, here we have to specify the fields for which group are to be created. We may choose to perform the sum of payment amount of all records, but it will give us total amount received from all the customers so far by modern electronic stores. What uh, we want is the details of payment received for each other. Thus, if manually this operation is to be performed, records are to be grouped as per the order ID fields first. This means that we need to arrange the record having order ID values as a 1 in the one group, or records having order ID value as 2 in order group, and so on. So then for each of this group, the payment amount is to be added. As a result, once a record pertaining to each order ID will appear in the query result. Thus, in this step, as seen figure 11.10, the order ID fields is to be mentioned in group by list box. So that is a applying group by on fields. So that is a grouping. So step number 5th, and then click on the next button. Click on the next button. That means in step number 6, we can specify some grouping conditions to further filter the output if required. Assume that we want to retrieve only those records where payment amount is greater than rupees 10,000. We are not applying any additional filters here. So click on the next button. In step number 7, mention alias if needed, and click on the next button. In step number 8, assign it a name query order payment, and select the modify executed. Base will show only one field, payment amount corresponding to each order. However, we accept to see the order ID along with each payment amount field, and click on the finish button. You will find that the query option in a design view as shown in figure 11.11. So that is a design view. That is a design view of a query, and select the checkbox available under the order ID fields as shown in figure 11.12. So that is a design view. And next is a selecting fields for a display. Next click on the run query button to execute the query. You will find that the results similar to the one shown in figure 11.30. So that is a result of a aggregations. So today class is over. I explain the next session remaining part. So I will explain in next sessions. Thank you.